DailyAstrocat.com, the weekly astrology report.
On this week's report, we talk about a Venus-Uranus 90-degree square, a full moon in Capricorn, and Mercury square Chiron.
We'll also be discussing a 60-degree Mercury-Uranus sextile and the moon in Pisces conjunct Saturn. This is going to be a pretty interesting week, so let's get started.
All right.
Hello, beautiful people. Earth and water are prominent this week, yet our actions and passions are fiery. Sounds good for the 4th of July week, right?
Absolutely.
Welcome to the Lunar Weekly Astrocat Preview. It's time to concentrate and focus.
Intentions set, our intentions well met.
I'm Shane Jensen. I'm an astrologer, but I'm not your typical natal chart reader. Instead, I interpret daily influences of the moon on us and our environs against the backdrop of traditional Western astrology.
And I'm Carrie Cardero Jensen. I'm his buddy.
Yeah.
I'm also Kitchen Witch, the voice of the cats and planets for that matter, and a neurospicy nerd for all things New Age.
We're going to begin this week with a bit of a down note, okay?
Aww.
The Venus in Leo, Uranus in Taurus square occurs on Sunday. You may have seen a bit of financial volatility in your life over the last few weeks. This will culminate today.
Because squares are the challenges.
On Sunday, that's right. Look, a few weeks ago we talked about the origin of the aspects and how Ptolemy laid the foundations for this stuff. This square is one of those things. It influences our life, and you know what? We just need to know what previous astrologers thought of this stuff, not to really use their interpretations for us, but it is good because we can navigate complexities of the cosmos if we pay a little bit of homage to those who came before us.
Nice. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
All
right, yeah. So, hey, look, squares are one of those common aspects in astrology that can represent destabilizing or challenging influences, or oppositions for that matter of fact, but they're not oppositions because oppositions are opposite. These are challenges. When planets are square, they are 90 degrees apart. Now, if you notice that, they create tension that forces us to confront obstacles and overcome them.
Ooh.
The square aspect between Venus and Leo and Uranus and Taurus happens to occur in two fixed signs.
Yeah,
Taurus and Leo.
That's
very
a tough one.
Stubborn.
Goodness gracious.
And that's the way that those squares always work. It's either cardinal signs, mutable signs, or fixed signs. Now, if you think about it, cardinal signs both want to do the same thing. They're both initiators, but they have different ways of going about initiating things.
And they're fighting over who's initiating.
Fixed is, forget about it. It's just stuck.
Don't budge.
Mutable,
am the way I am.
Hey, that's going to be easy too. A mutable square, that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
The fixed square, that's a little bit of a tough side. You know, have you ever tried to negotiate with a Taurus for anything?
Or a Leo, for that matter. This may create some disruptions in our relationships and financial situations, to say the least, leading to unexpected changes and challenges. However, these difficulties can also provide opportunities for growth and transformation if we're willing to face them head on and embrace the lessons they have to offer.
Indeed. Imagine, if you would, Venus and Uranus meeting up. Venus enters a verdant green pasture where Uranus is sitting with a bull beneath a tree. Sounds familiar, right? Is it a cork tree? Venus is in her evening star phase. This is also called Hesperus. She sees Uranus.
Is this how you choose to spend your time in my realm?
Uranus stands and turns to greet Venus, only to see Mars and Venus arm in arm. Oh.
Oh, okay, so this is Uranus here.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm not so sure that you're as focused as you should be, Lady Venus. It seems that the presence of the Earth Mother series is dampening your time in Leo. Where is the spotlight? I'm waiting to see the show.
Mars grumbles and steps forward.
What are you waiting for? Retrograde?
Uranus grins and shakes his purple hair.
Now there's an idea. I think I may like that. Things have been too volatile of late. The folks down below are not happy, but they are prisoners of their own doing. The wrong kind of consumption is being driven by greed and war.
Uranus looks at Mars.
You wouldn't know any way to bring this thing to a conclusion, would you?
Mars narrows his eyes.
Words are dangerous things. You had better choose them wisely. What outcome would you desire?
Uranus looks to Venus.
One that is both honorable and stabilizing. One that promotes the better angels of humanity.
Mars grunts.
That is not the question you asked. When peace proposals are no longer terms of surrender, then there will be progress.
Uranus nods.
I see that the imbalance is trying to drive a narrative. Love has to be a part of the solution. Yet, Venus says nothing.
Venus looks at Uranus.
The only way to make things better for everyone is to first make things better for ourselves. There are no poor philanthropists. Think about it. Our focus is not down there or out there. It is right here. Art, romance, nature, and it is right now, in the present.
All right, so now you know. Now you know what we used to do. Now you know what we do. The square between Venus and Uranus will be long-lasting. We're going to have to gradually reconcile these differences, especially if you don't want to sustain a financial hit. Traditional forms of income are not going to yield what you think they will.
Oh, dear. It's true, though. Uranus is all about evolution and invention. Guess we're going to need to adapt or be stuck in a pernicious cycle of want and need.
Oh, you know what? If this were the only aspect, this would indeed be difficult this week. But it isn't. The fixed will sit and wait while the real push is between the sun and the moon.
So Sunday's going to feel like it went on forever then? I thought this is a good week. The full moon's tomorrow. Come
That's
on.
right. And now
Give me some good.
Now it's time for Saturn to come to the rescue. Yeah, I know. That sounds kind of scary, right? It's time for Saturn to join our summer party. Cue the Pina Colada song.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
All right. The full moon of January.
Your favorite.
Absolutely. On the dunes on the Cape. The dunes on the Cape.
Yeah.
Hey, the full moon of July occurs on the 3rd with the moon at 11 degrees, 19 minutes of Capricorn. And it's the most significant event of this week. The full moon is this full moon, that full moon, the buck moon, the full buck moon. That's what the July moon is called.
Buck moon.
The buck moon, that's right. It's a powerful time for gaining clarity and closure in matters related to our work, career, and life goals. With the moon in Capricorn, we're encouraged to be disciplined, responsible, and focused on the practicalities of life. Just in time for a summer vacation period, right? This is the time to take stock of where you are and what you need to do to reach your aspirations.
Heck yeah, sounds great.
All right, so Saturn took a bit of the spotlight last week, if you remember, and that continues this week. Only the spotlight is the moonlight. This is a highly responsible event that is going to hold even the most recalcitrant upon us responsible. Responsible for what, you say?
For following through on your actions, that's what. I see what you did now with that story. Uranus was sitting around waiting for Mars to show up. That's a very bad idea. The ideas that Mars will have won't be very compatible with those of Uranus. Mars will be focused on ideas around the self. Uranus, however, has a more universal scope to his thinking and action.
However, both are thinking creatively, and this is where things get really exciting.
That can be cool. So if the sun is opposing the moon and is also trine with Saturn, does that mean that there's an aspect of the moon and Saturn on the day of the full moon?
Yes, it is a helpful sextile.
Excellent.
This is a gentle reminder to consider the things that the full moon in Capricorn is suggesting. Begin taking yourself and your projects very seriously.
Heck yeah. So, how is this about projects? And what kind of projects?
Well, it's the artistic ones. Saturn is in Pisces, after all, and Pisces is a creative sign. Mars and Venus are in Leo, another creative sign. Cardinal signs are initiators. We are wanting to see long-term, well-thought-out changes to our lifestyles and incomes. The world screams at us with distractions. It's time to put on the blinders and stare directly at the path that's set in front of us.
Heck yeah, horse blinders. That's good for you sometimes.
The moon in Capricorn has practical benefits at an impractical time of the year. This holiday weekend will be an opportunity to discuss legacies and wills.
Interesting.
The family dynamic is going to be a bit preoccupied with these kinds of ideas. Perpetuity would be a good word to describe this. It isn't about getting something after someone is gone. It's more about who will be the glue that holds a family together. Like a lit sparkler, that torch will be passed along.
So you have a week off from work.
I do.
And I took a summer furlough. I'm still kind of nervous, though. I got to make sure my safety net kicks in.
It is a bit nerve-wracking, and I understand that. It also affects me as well. Perhaps that is some of the Venus-Uranus tension we discussed earlier.
Maybe.
This week is
house.
one for me to focus on the things that I've been meaning to get done over the past year.
No kidding.
Okay, so now there's a slight warning that needs to be mentioned, however. The Mercury-Chiron square will find us in a vulnerable place as far as the state of our health is concerned, both mental and physical. This is a time to be aware of not being judgmental, and I really hope that you have the ability to shake it off if you are subjected to that kind of behavior.
Judgy folks.
Okay.
Let it go.
So let's turn a square around, shall we?
Turn a square around.
So this is going to register with us deeply, thanks to the Sun and Mercury in Cancer. Chiron and Aries won't know when to quit, so it's up to you to tap into the limitations of Saturn in Pisces. Don't say it. Think before you speak. Don't hurt the feelings of others who are struggling.
That is some nice advice. I will do my best to take it. We really don't pay too much attention to the asteroids and planetoids here. With Saturn so prominent in our chart, perhaps this is not the time to venture into that ground. But we're going to anyway.
Yeah, there's some irony there. So Chiron is in our forecast, whether we like it or not. Chiron has an opportunity for
Chiron
growth and healing?
Is an opportunity for personal growth and healing.
So Chiron in Aries focuses on the self. I find it so interesting how the sign of Aries is like almost interchangeable with Leo in ways, because the sun is the sign of self, especially when considering a natal chart. Yet the first house is also the house of self. Meanwhile, the child of zodiac as Aries is often... Wait, what?
Child of the zodiac. The child of zodiac. No, child of the zodiac.
The child of the zodiac as Aries is often called. Oh my God.
Yes, you did that when we tried to.
The child of the zodiac as Aries is often
the child
called.
It needs a comma there.
It does need a comma.
Meanwhile,
That's
the child
why.
of the zodiac, as Aries is often called, is present in the fifth house of Leo.
So is creativity, boldness, bravery, and courage.
Ooh, fire. Okay, listen, Chiron in Aries speaks to our general level of physical activity. We're best off to be mindful of our movement, to exercise now more than ever. Now, if you notice, we actually use Chiron as our health indicator for our best days for health.
Definitely.
It's one of our favorite things to do. You ignore this, however, at your own peril. I took some flack over this issue on TikTok several weeks ago.
Yeah, health somewhat.
Oh, well, I was essentially body shamed for advocating exercise because I look the way I do. Oh, we're going to take exercise advice from this guy, huh? Even when I am fit, I am by no means a lithe person. I have a very heavy frame, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm merely reminding myself to get moving, and I'm doing the same for all of you. If you need a little gentle nudge, that's what we're here for. It's not to beat you over the head with a stick or anything like that. It's like, hey, this is a great day to go out for a walk.
Yeah.
Hey, this might be a great day to, maybe do some yoga or some mindfulness or some meditation.
You don't need to be obese to experience a myocardial infarction.
No, you don't. Healthy people get it all the time. So the people, it's just a good excuse to be able to connect your mind and body in a way that's purposeful and aligned with the flow.
Absolutely.
All right. So, hey.
So the Saturn and Moon are conjunct, and we've arrived at the end of the week. The waning moon loves the sign of Pisces. I mean, who doesn't love these gentle dreamers? Even uptight Virgos and Capricorns can't dismiss their fascination with their otherworldly views and mannerisms.
A Moon-Saturn conjunction highlights all of this and more. The lesson that is going to be presented today is how to live with our creative endeavors. We have been hinting all along at a higher standard of living through our individual work. This is not to say that we should be living in excess, but rather we should be living off of the fruits of our own labor.
Nice. Sounds like a good way to be.
And this leads us into considering the fundamental question behind all of our projects. I got an email just the other day saying, turn your hobby into a jobby. Clearly, they were selling a class. But what is driving that right now at this moment?
I know the answer. I know the answer. Jupiter and Taurus. Maybe Uranus and Taurus, too.
I think you're right, and therein lies the key. Your plans, projects, and hobbies can all yield surprising results. I personally know folks who have taken the lessons that those courses, turning your hobby into a jobby, have offered all the way to the bank.
Yeah.
Okay? With that being said, the interplay of Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus hints towards an even bigger payday in the future. It's your opportunity to get on this bandwagon as well. When is that going to happen? I'm not going to tell you right now. If you think about it, though, you may have an idea when it would actually come to fruition. But you have to get started, okay? When should you start? Now. A Mercury-Uranus sextile tells us that we can initiate this immediately. If someone hands you the keys to your own future success, why would you not even try to open the door?
Indeed. And now for the best days.
All right.
So the best day for love
Is Thursday, an opposition between the moon and in Aquarius and Venus. The energy of the moon in Aquarius encourages us to embrace our individuality and seek new experiences with an open mind. Meanwhile, Venus in Leo inspires us to express ourselves creatively and enjoy the pleasures of life. This opposition can create a little bit of tension between the desire for individual freedom and a need for connection and intimacy, but you'll work that out, won't you?
All right. So the best day for business
Is
then?
Monday. Believe it or not, it's the 3rd. Use this day before the holiday to put your house in order. The short week is a blessing. Reconsider your career options with maximum independence in mind.
Indeed.
See that? Independence Day. Yeah.
You
Dad
dork.
jokes.
Yeah.
Dad jokes.
Dad jokes indeed. So then the best day for health?
Is not this week.
Uh-oh.
Multiple gatherings and drinking occasions will slow down even the most determined dieter. Be wary of judgmental people over the course of the week. You can keep the path you're on if you use maximum personal control.
That's right.
Max personal control. We need more power.
Max personal control. Engage.
All right.
So best day for transformation.
It is Friday. Thought you were in love on Friday, huh? No, it's for transforming yourself. If you did the work that the full moon asked you to do, then you'll see what the transformative nature of Saturn and Pisces will have brought you. Okay, good ideas are usually followed with better ideas. You have the discipline, you have the limitations, you have this. You can do it, okay? Have fun while discovering yours this weekend, okay? You're going to have to discover what your better ideas are.
That's right.
All right. Hey,
So the week ahead?
yeah, we're going to be looking at an upbeat week. This is a very upbeat week. Our expectation is that you will finally get this, okay?
Nice.
And more people will actually get what we're putting down here.
Maybe.
We mixed in the part of the old storylines to illustrate a point. What lies before you is not a predetermined path. It is an exciting adventure into the unknown, full of choices that you must make. Astrology makes that path just a little more fun. It's like Mad Libs for people who believe in spiritual stuff.
Well, maybe a little easier to navigate.
Or, those adventure books where you choose the course.
It kind of lays out, it lays out a foundation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you all for joining us. We get to do this all together. Please like, share, follow us, hit the bell for notifications, do all that stuff.
Follow the bell.
Do whatever you have to, okay? Share it, definitely.
Show us the love, guys. Talk to us. We want to know how your week is going. Did you work your magic? Feed us some feedback. It's daily-astrocat.com by Stella on Facebook and innumerable
Instagram
other.
and TikTok. It's
Yes,
all over the
indeed.
place.
Yes,
I don't know
yes.
whether it necessarily is, but hey, most likely I'm probably not going to want this week to end. And actually, this show is pretty good too.
Yeah.
It's one that I kind of don't want it to end either, but we're at the end of it. I'm hoping for it to be both productive and relaxing. This is not contradictory, however.
Surprisingly, yeah.
If you love what you do, then you can do it for hours and hours and hours on end.
Maybe you can do that. What I'm here for is all of you out there. The content that any of you provide, the content that we provide is the gift of intellect. The nurturing I provide is the gift of my heart. This is for all of my people out there. May you discover your path, and long may it suit you. All
right. Allegedly, we change every 7 years. And Look,
Oh boy, this mouse.
here's to our new form. Long may it function. A long time ago, a popular astrologer on the radio here in the Boston area, the Cosmic Muffin, Daryl Martini, signed off with his signature phrase. And I pass this on to you, Carrie. Try not to mess it up.
I'll mess
Like you
up.
did with the last thing, the last sentiment.
It's a wise person who rules the stars. It's a fool who is ruled by them.
Over and out. Have a happy Astro Week. Happy
astrocatting.
Thank God. I didn't want it to
Marbles
end
in
until
my
it had to
mouth.
end.
Yeah.